Welcome back. Of course, it's still Daybreak on Trust TV. Yes, this segment of the program is going to be focused on media and journalism, especially as it relates to AI and digital innovation. With us in the studio this morning is somebody who has, of course, a lot of understanding as a resource person from the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development. He will be here this morning to talk to us about an upcoming event and activities, of course, that's going to lead to the development and use of technology, especially with focus on artificial intelligence in the media space. Monsur Hussain is the lead for innovations at the Center for Journalism and Innovation, the CJID. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, of course. So now, you see, when you say AI and you say journalism, it sounds like an odd mix, one would say, because I know a lot of journalists, especially those who I learned from over the years, as not being ones who are so keen on adopting the use of technology. Maria, you are looking at me in a very, very funny way, but then again, I go with my questions. You know, they are not so keen with adoption of technology. I know for a fact that I still know journalists today who use pen and paper to write their stories, you know, before going to a desktop computer to type and then send. But then here we are talking about AI and advancement of technology in the media industry. I want you to basically shed light on how the adoption process has been.
Okay. Well, that's quite interesting because there's a lot of disruption in the media space. And just yesterday, I was reading about an AI news anchor from India, and they have about 750 million readers.
Interesting.
That is disruption.
Okay.
750 million readers.
Are they taking over our jobs now?
Well, I was going to that, but let him land first, so it doesn't seem like we're too forward.
Okay.
Of course.
So the understanding is that technological advancements is affecting every industry. If you talk about healthcare, finance, as well as the media. So it's affecting content creation, content distribution. You'd see that a lot of people are not reading newspapers. Newspaper revenues have declined over the years.
Of course.
There's a lot of digital now. Everybody's on social media. You can monetize revenue on social media. So digital revenue is where people are moving from. That's disruption in the financing of the media. Now in the content creation, there's so much you can do with artificial intelligence. ChatGPT, for example. A lot of people don't have to write news from scratch on their own. Now, the New York Times, for example, they have a whole department, AI news editing department, where AI is being used to write the stories. Then it is being reviewed by human journalists. And now I was reading something interesting about Zach Seward when he mentioned human journalists, and then an editor reviewed, and it was like, there's no other type of journalist. Journalists are humans. So AI news is just there to help in the like an initial creation. It's here to help your job. But now to take advantage of that, you need to understand how it works.
Okay. That is what now talking about taking advantage, I've seen in the newsroom where reporters come from assignments and next thing is type, okay, maybe the nature of the assignment, and AI just brings out everything. Now, what is the thin line between reporting in a climb like Nigeria and then trying to inculcate AI into our reporting? Because sometimes it doesn't tally. You're reading somebody's script just because I have an idea that AI can give you so and so when you want to write a report. I have an idea that this is an AI script. But what is the thin line between using AI and, you know, as journalists, bringing it into a profession and make something out of it?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities and challenges. And now, how to create a balance is what we need to really look for. So if you're talking about you seeing like a content and knowing that this is AI generated, that's because whoever wrote that does not really understand how AI works.
Okay.
You could use AI, you could provide samples of your previous writings to let the AI understand that this is how I write. And then when it generates content for you, it's going to generate it based on how you used to write.
So I think that's what they call machine learning, right?
Yes. So it's more like fine-tuning in this case. So you're just fine-tuning the already built AI model with your own data to help guide how it should write. So one person wants to write, using big grammars. Someone else wants to write in a very simple way. So the machine could do both. You just need to let it understand how you want it. So is this
something that has to be learned? It's something that has to be taught to journalists to understand how this can be used in their line of work?
Yes,
okay,
definitely. So I'm part of this AI journalism fellowship with the London School of Economics, and that's basically what they're teaching journalists. And at the CJID also, we are going to unveil our AI in journalism fellowship fellows at the conference, and that is what we are going to be teaching them. So basically, how to use artificial intelligence in your newsrooms, how to use it in your journalism efforts in the process, and how to get the best out of it while looking out for the ethical considerations.
So doesn't this make journalists lazy in the real sense? Because you know that there's a machine or a computer who can generate everything that you want in your line of work.
Well, so lazy is basically not really about how much manual work you can do. For example, someone who uses a calculator in school is not lazy.
Thank you.
It's just the way we perceive hard work is going to change.
Great.
So we're working smart now.
We're working smart.
Okay.
You see, it's good, Monsur, that you mentioned this, because what came to my mind the moment that Madia mentioned lazy was the advent of the internet in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm talking about its adoption here in Africa, Nigeria particularly. Then I knew that it began to seem like you now have almost all the information you would usually go to the ministry for at your fingertips. So then it looked like maybe this was going to get us a little bit lazy. And then again, now we're seeing the advent of AI and how snappy it is to get information. For example, give me a breakdown of, say, the Student Loan Act from the moment the motion was moved in the House of Representatives to the moment the president assented to it in 2024. And before you know it, it's like in seconds, and you see, a breakdown of all of that done. I understand that one would see that as maybe lazy work, maybe it's smart work as well. But the question here now is, how do we now begin to, access some of this information in ways such that we're not worried about issues around misinformation and disinformation? Because AI is AI. It's intelligent, but it's not always right.
It's garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. So there's the ethical considerations, which presents a lot of challenges. And that's why for a field like journalism, it is very important that you have humans. That's why I think it is not going to take away your jobs as journalists. So it is going to help you optimize the way you work. So definitely someone has to be there to make the first decision on what do we want to do. And someone has to be there at the end of the process to review what we've done before it goes out. I think there was some scandal around a news platform that used AI to automate news generation, and then the AI started hallucinating and generating information that did not exist. So someone has to be there from the start, human first, human last. And that is what will keep your jobs as journalists, as writers, as content creators.
So we still remain gatekeepers at the end of the day, because the AI cannot do gatekeeping for themselves.
We'll remain gatekeepers, but the question of whether we would remain news writers, we'll probably see how that goes. But then again, you spoke about an AI fellowship here in Nigeria. I want you to speak more about that.
Okay, so we put out a call for application for AI in Journalism Fellowship. And basically, we want to do a convening of technologists and journalists, researchers, and bring them together to provide solutions to media problems using artificial intelligence. So we put out a call for technologists, the data scientists, the machine learning engineers, the AI experts, another call for the journalists and researchers. And then we had a matchmaking process where everybody submitted an initial idea. Then during the matchmaking process, you had to pitch your ideas to each other. Like, okay, so this is what I'm looking at. This is what you're looking at. Oh, I saw your application and it looks like we complement each other in this way. Yes. So basically, you're looking for someone who has what you don't and someone who is thinking similar to what you're doing. So that way, we let them explore ideas, and then they submitted. They formed teams of 4 to 6 team members, and then they submitted applications, the final application. So now we've selected 3 teams who are going to move forward, and the work that they're going to be doing over the next 5 months, which we are going to be launching in November at our Media and Development Conference. But then they are going to be at this.
Okay, so the fellowship hasn't started.
No, the fellowship starts next week.
Okay,
so there will be an induction.
The event. Okay.
Yes. So the event is on the 27th, that's on Monday. Then the fellowship induction is on Tuesday. So we're going to be bringing experts from the field of artificial intelligence and journalism, people who have experience there, to guide these fellows as mentors. And then over the next 5 months, they're going to build something solid. And we're going to provide funding for them to do that.
Well, I do not doubt the work that the CJID does in terms of innovation and development. And what better way to have someone explain than to have, the team lead innovations from the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, Monsur Hussain, who's been here Hussain, my apologies. I mean, twins. It happens sometimes.
So you can take.
Indeed. Well, my director has mentioned to me that that's the much we can take on this segment of the program. But then again, it's been Monsur Hussain, the lead innovation at the CJID, talking to us about AI development, especially in the media space, and what to expect. It's going to be an interesting 5 months for media practitioners and journalists, of course, as they look out and watch out for what the CJID will be doing in terms of innovations and development in the media space.